Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Jacob Restituto, and today we're doing something that some people really find helpful and some people genuinely don't love. And let me share why. I've gotten a lot of comments. I've done this a couple times here on the channel, and I've gotten comments where people are like, this is so helpful. Thank you for the inspiration, or whatever the case is. And then there are some people like, I don't feel like you shouldn't do this. I don't know if it's right, blah, blah, blah. And let me explain what we're doing and why we're doing it. I am being super vulnerable, and I've done this a couple times, and I share how much I've made from YouTube and in my business from this past month. And the reason I do that is not in any way, shape, or form to gloat or to be like, hey, look at me, look what's going on, all this stuff. But it's the complete opposite. There are so many voices out there saying it's impossible to be an artist, it's impossible to be a content creator, it's impossible to be a musician. Oh, the starving musician, it's just no money in the industry. That it's overwhelming, and if you want to start a career like that, that's all you hear. But I want to be the opposite voice, as somebody that has heard those voices, but also has pushed through and made it to the other side where there is actually money. And you don't have to be the next Ed Sheeran, you don't have to be a Taylor Swift where you're making millions and millions and millions of dollars a year, but you can make a livable wage as long as you're willing to put in the work. And it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. Now, these are my personal numbers, and this is what works for me. What's going to be the biggest thing is that I wanted you to take away with this. I want this to be your kind of rough guide, but not the end all be all. Not be like, oh my gosh, Jacob made this much, I have to make this. Like, no. Or Jacob made this little, but I'm making it. Well, you don't compare yourself to me. Just get ideas and be inspired. If you're making less, then be inspired. If you're making more, then please tell me how you're doing it, because I'd love to learn. So let's get right into this. There's a couple different streams of income, and this is also why I want to do it, because I want to show the different streams of income, the different ideas that you might be able to capitalize on as an artist. Now, this has been an average month for me over the past couple months. In the beginning of the year, the first couple months of the year, we were making so much money, like almost double this, if not more than double this. It is slowed down a little bit, but I've also slowed down on my production of videos. Now, that being said, the next couple months, I plan to revamp what I was doing back in January. I was doing in January, I was posting 10 to 12 videos a day, and I was making serious money from YouTube. Now I'm posting 4 to 5, so it's a big difference. So we're gonna go through these, and yeah, I'll be honest with you guys and show you what's possible. So the first option I have right here, so what we have is the estimated and the actual, how much I estimated to make, because that's what I do every month, so I can kind of budget accordingly, and then also then what I actually made. So the estimated for merch was about $0, because I don't really promote it that often, and people aren't buying it all that super often. I personally use Teespring. I really like them as a platform. It is super easy to make the merchandise, and you can buy samples of it, which is what I do. You have to pay for them, but you pay for them at market price. You don't have to hold all the merchandise, which I've done before, in the sense of you make merch and now you have 100 t-shirts that you're responsible for. If nobody buys them, then you spent all money on 100 t-shirts, and you have to ship them out when people buy them. It's a pain. Shipping is a pain. This, they literally take care of all of it. It's more expensive per shirt or per sweatshirt or whatever the case is, but for me, the ease is 100% worth it. Now, how much did I actually made? Well, I did some promo. I think we hit 90K subs, and I said, hey, for 90K, we're 10,000 away from 100. So I was like, here's a 10% coupon. I sent that out. I also did a big 30% off coupon for Cyber Monday, because I just want people to wear it. I don't really care about making the money, but we ended up making some decent money. We made $100 from it, $101 from that, which is actually really nice. Now, when I first rolled out that merch, I was actually making about $100 a month. It slowed down a bit because I haven't really promoted it too much. Now, as you can see, there was 3 sponsors for the channel. I kept the sponsors' names off of it because that's irrelevant. And some of them were one-off videos. Some of them were reoccurring style partnerships. This one sponsor is a reoccurring one. This is how much. I knew how much it was going to be, because I've worked with them plenty of times before. It was a couple cents off, just because of fees transferring. But I worked out a deal with a couple sponsors to work out, how much. I guarantee a certain amount of views per month talking about that product, essentially. Now, the same thing with this one, only this one was slightly different, because this was, so it's funny how this sponsor actually pays the month in advance. So technically they paid me in November for December's work, and this sponsor pays the opposite. This one pays after the work is done. So this was actually October's payment that I'm getting in November. Now this one was also for $400. Oh, this one was technically this one was supposed to be it's $500 for this one, but PayPal takes $15 out of the fee, which is absurd. So I got to figure out a better way to go about that. But alas. And what do you know? This one made $400. Actually, there was no fees for this one, which was cool. Sponsor 3 was a one-off video that I did. Now, I'm going to be fully honest with you. I'm going to talk about this for a sec. I'm actually taking a hit because doing it this way, the first 2 ways that I showed you, like the first 2 sponsors, actually makes less money because it's more work for me essentially. Because I have to put out more videos, usually about, say, like 50,000 views. I guarantee them, hypothetically, if I was, that would be about 8 to 12 videos of work for me. Now, that is a lot more work than doing a one-off video, which is this one was, but you get paid a lot more for the one-off videos. Now, the thing is, though, I don't think the one-off videos really do well. I don't think they perform well. I don't think they sell well. I don't like them as a marketer. And I want a long-lasting relationship with these sponsors. So I'm like, you know what? I'd rather actually take the financial hit up front in order to actually build a lasting relationship, so we could do some sort of monthly recurring thing. Now, they just wanted to promote a new product, so I was like, okay, that's totally fine. So they offered $350 for the video, and I took $350 for the video. Actually, they offered 3. See, that's another tip too. They offered 3. I said, hey, can we do $350? You always negotiate. Worst thing that they say is no. Next is my biggest source of income from YouTube. This is Google AdSense. Now, this is very much fluctuates on view count and I mean, I actually made a whole video on how to make money from YouTube and from reactions. So go watch that video after the fact if you have not seen it already. It is really, I think, insightful on just different ways and some insights on how to make more money from reaction, or just in general. It's really based on like how many people are watching and who is watching, like the age, the demographic. So I've seen actually this AdSense number, the highest I've seen is $4,300 in a month. Which is mainly because I post a lot. I post so much, and it's a big difference. This month it's been about the average. It's been a slow decline lately, just because of, I think, more people are going back to work and school and aren't watching as much YouTube anymore. But we have I've hit $2,000 from this month from just YouTube alone, which I'm incredibly grateful for. I mean, if you guys been following the vlog, you guys would know that I mean, it wasn't that long ago when we hit my first $500 total. So actually it was a little more. I had estimated 2,000 and it was 2,066, which is really cool. I mean, that's a decent amount more. Okay. Hired reactions. Once you start to build the channel, a bunch of people start reaching out, whether it be subscribers or companies. I don't love doing hired reactions for subscribers. It doesn't feel natural to me. I feel uncomfortable charging subscribers. Now you can do Patreon, like guaranteed reactions. I'm happy to do that. Or I do it like every once a month. Not true. Like maybe every once in 3 months typically. I want to do them more often. I do subscriber reactions where I do like a live stream where I react to all of my subscribers' music, and that's free for them. But hired is where like these companies will reach out to me, whether they be labels or actual companies, like marketing companies, and say, hey, would you consider reacting to our artist? And they pay for that, which is cool because they have a decent budget. I did not expect for any this month because they're super sporadic, but we ended up getting one for, I think it was $125, and I think PayPal took out $6, if I'm correct. Next is Patreon. I've had months, my biggest month in Patreon was like $5,000. It was wild. Now, it has been a definite decline since then, because I actually don't promote my Patreon nearly enough. I really actually rarely ever even talk about it. Although, so you'll see me starting to talk about that more often because there's a lot of content on there. I just don't talk about it. So you'll see me start promoting it. I was estimating $1,000 from Patreon, and we got $900 from Patreon. Okay, so that was a little bit of a miss. It's like we're doing an earnings report from the stock market. Next is Amazon. So actually, this is super sporadic, but what you can do is you can actually sign up to become an Amazon affiliate, and all you do is put your links in the description of your video, like to the products that you use already inside of your, my studio. But if anybody buys anything off that link, even if it's not your actual product, Amazon sends you a little kickback, and I actually made $5.55 from that, which is kind of cool. Next, we have streaming services. Hey, let's make this a 0 because it looks like it's just blank. It bothers me. Make that even. Streaming services. I actually don't. So that's like meaning Spotify payments, Apple Music, like all the my music. That one I didn't account for actually because I don't really take it's not a ton of money usually, and I don't always take it out every month. I take it out usually every couple months. So we have $0 because there was money made from it. I just didn't check it because it's not a ton of money. And that's about it. So I have a gift and extra tab right here. And that is because like sometimes like it's wild, but some of you guys have sent me money, which is crazy, which I'm grateful for, so grateful for. So that one I put in here. This one was not a gift. It was actually, I sold some AirPods. I sold 2 sets of AirPods that I had, one missing a whole bud, but the guy bought both sets for $140. So the total of how much I made, this is the estimate, $4,235.20. And we made $4,568.72. So it's definitely a livable wage. It's not a ton of money. I'm not making a ton. You know, at the beginning of the year, when I quit my job to be a full-time musician, I said that was looking like we were going to make about $100,000 a year. And at that point, it was 100% true. We were on that road. Now it's a little bit less. It fluctuates somewhere between the 4 to 5 range, give or take. Which is about, somewhere between the 50 to 60 to 70 range probably. Hey, I just want you to know it's actually possible. It's not a ton of money. It's definitely a livable wage. But, if we get this number back up, if we get that number back up to, where it was back in, hold on, let me see if I can see something really quick. Back to where we was in like, for example, January. Okay, December's income was $8,000. This is December 2020. $7,962. Total from in January was 8,650. February was 5,500. So like it was that those months were huge. So if we continue to, if that just shows me that what's possible. So if we get back to that number, posting all that often, really promoting the Patreon, because a lot of that was Patreon, because my views were definitely not as high as they are now. I think it's possible to get back up there. So that is the update. I hope you guys enjoyed that and learned something. And I hope it inspired you. Like I said, it's not a flex in any way, shape, or form. It's really just to be honest with you guys and show you what's possible, show you the options that are out there. So hope you guys enjoyed that. I will see you in the next video. Let me know if you have any tips for me or have any questions. If you have any questions, you could text me or reach out to me in any way. I'll see you in the next video. God bless and hope you start your channel. Peace out.